Ah, the worst designed Gen 5 starter. Mind you, we're grading on a pretty steep curve here. Snivy and Tepig are tough competition, so it's not like Oshawott is bad, it just lacks a little bit of clarity in its design line. To start with, the idea of an otter using sharp seashells as Ursat's swords is very, very good. It's fucking awesome, actually, but I think none of its actual designs quite manage to communicate that idea visually. Case in point, Oshawott just kinda looks like it's wearing a baby onesie with a shell design on it, and like it is, the line is based on the idea of a samurai's lifespan, and this is the baby stage of the idea, so it is a baby otter. It just does not properly communicate the idea of the shell as a weapon. It's rendered way too simply, and without that visual communication being clear as a design, Oshawott is just kind of a cute otter Pokemon with no really interesting visual idea underpinning it. Of course, that's pretty normal for first stage designs, and I will say that Dewott, the second stage, might be the best second stage design of all of the starters of this generation. With its aggressive whiskers and top knot of raised fur, along with the skirts on its legs beginning to evoke the shape language of samurai armor, and by placing the shells conspicuously on the hips, the place where swords are supposed to go, it finally manages to communicate that central idea, which is so key to the concept of the whole line, and it does so brilliantly. Until Samurott unfortunately kinda drops the ball again. I like the idea of bringing in some influence from sea lions, and I really like the helmet and the giant whiskers evoking the shape language of samurai helmets and battle masks, and I will say, it really does look like the commander of some army barking orders on the battlefield. That all works. But if you looked at this design and I asked you to figure out where the swords are, without any previous knowledge, how would you identify them? The grips of the swords, those sharp triangular points poking out of the plating on its arms, simply do not appear as such. It just looks like part of the armor, which is the opposite of a weapon. It just does not read well from a design perspective. And like, if you're doing a Pokemon based on a samurai, the swords need to be clear in the design. Hiding your weapon is ninja behavior. Samurai show their swords, and they show them prominently and proudly. So with Samurott, not only is it no longer using seashells as swords, which was the cool idea that made the line unique in the first place, it doesn't even really have swords as part of its proud samurai general design. It has hidden blades, like it's some kind of assassin instead. It just doesn't quite work. Hisuian Samurott, by the way, is more or less just the Shadow the Hedgehog version of Samurott. It's a very basic execution of adding a dark-type theme to a design, and while it definitely looks cool, it's not particularly interesting to me either. The dark-type does make a lot more sense with the idea of hidden blades, though, so it is kind of an improvement over the original. It's got that going for it.